Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words, become much more articulate. In today's episode, we are entering the world of social skills, and I'm going to be talking about one of the rare times you should allow someone to ramble to you. People ramble for different reasons, and if this is your first time on my YouTube channel, first of all, hit subscribe, hit that bell notification. And second of all, if you're more curious about rambling, I made a detailed video on the 5 reasons people ramble. I'll link it right on here if you're watching from your phone or your laptop. And you could just type in 5 reasons people ramble ArmaniTalks if you're watching this episode from the TV. And a few of the reasons include they're egotistical. They just love to hear their voice. Another reason is because they are lonely. They haven't talked to someone in such a freaking long time. Another reason is because they're nervous around you. And another reason is because this topic is very important to them. I want to zone in on the last one right now. This topic is very important to them. What do you do? And better yet, how do you spot when the topic is very important to them? You will only know if you know this person a good amount and you can see his overall personality. For the most part, this is not an individual that is rambling. Normally, he's very crisp and to the point. But for this particular topic, he's been going on and on for some time. Whenever he's talking about this topic, his eyes are wide. There's this enthusiasm that you normally don't see in him. This is when you know that the topic is very important to this person. And if you can't distinguish the different reasons people ramble, then you will just think, okay, this guy's rambling, he's taking up too much of the time, I must stick my nose into the conversation now. Which is not smart if this person normally doesn't ramble. If he normally doesn't ramble, and he's rambling for this specific topic, the socially intelligent person will let this person continue to ramble. Allow this conversation to be theirs. There was this day when I was talking to one of my buddies, and I had just come back from a wedding. This wedding was a very unique wedding because a long time ago, let's say my freshman year in college, I got a call from one of my buddies in a different school, and he's like, hey, Armani, I just joined a fraternity, and I think you should start that fraternity at your school. You'll be a founding father. What do you say? I was like, I'll see. I don't really know. What do I have to do? He's like, just gather a group of people and bring them to this informational. Can you do that? I was like, yeah, I could do that. So I assembled 15 people. We all went to the informational and we began to start this fraternity. But school and stuff got in the way, so I eventually ended up not following through. But all those people within the informational, I would say 75% of them ended up following through. They became founding fathers for that particular fraternity. Time went on by, and that's the wedding that I was in. And once I went into that wedding, I thought they were going to be judging me because I didn't end up following through. But instead, what happened was they were like, dude, if you didn't knock on my door that day, then I would have just gone to sleep. But since you came to my place, you knocked and you asked me to come to the informational, I was able to meet this brotherhood. And by meeting this brotherhood, they threw a bunch of events and eventually I met my wife at this event. Thank you, bro. I was like, whoa, for real? He's like, yes. And a bunch of those people said stories like that. They were like, I didn't really know anyone else from the informational. I only know you. So I was thankful that you invited me to come to this informational. Otherwise, my life would have gone completely differently. And I'm over here telling this story to one of my buddies, right? I'm just like, man, it was so awesome, being in this wedding where I felt like everyone was going to judge me. But instead, different people were coming to me and, complimenting me. I felt really appreciated. And I guess I was rambling on about this topic for a long time. And this guy that I was speaking to, I could tell that he wasn't paying attention. He was kind of like, Well, there was also this one time I helped start whatever. He's like over here mumbling and stuff and not paying attention. He's just trying to find a story that matches what I'm trying to say because he wants to bring himself in the conversation. So he brings himself in the conversation and I'm like, no, I'm not done yet. I still want to talk a little bit more about this. So when he's like saying a story, I'm like, yeah. Then I go back to this topic. I really wanted to ramble on this topic. I was feeling a certain type of way. And this guy knew me for some time. And for the most part, I'm very crisp in conversations. Normally, whenever I'm talking to someone, it's very straight up to the point. I don't really ramble too much. So on this particular day, when I wanted to ramble, I wanted him to let me ramble so this conversation, at least momentarily, could be mine. But he wouldn't. After I started to talk, he's like, whoa, me too. I'm like, will you shut the hell up? Stop talking so much. And eventually got to a point where I was like, all right, bro, I gotta get going. Very abruptly. And he's like, well, what? I thought we were gonna hang out for a while. And he couldn't really see it. And I guess it was a passive aggressive thing to just leave like that. But I was really annoyed. And that's when I thought, in the future, if I ever see someone that is rambling but normally doesn't ramble, I'm pretty sure that he or she is feeling about that topic the way that I felt about my topic when I wanted to ramble. And when you let someone ramble in moments like that, they feel so good. It feels like therapy for them. And you want to ask more questions in this scenario. It's like, well, do you take credit for some of their marriages? What made you invite these specific 15 groups of people? Why didn't you end up doing this particular fraternity? Did you regret it later? If this person asked me questions like that, I would have stayed. I would have loved the guy for it. But he's over here just yapping away. So the next time someone is rambling to you, realize that it's not always because they're egotistical. If this is a person that normally does not ramble, but is rambling today, there is a reason why. This conversation topic means a lot to them. Shut up from your end and let them talk. And once they are done talking, ask them questions, help them introspect, and they will love you for it. If you enjoyed today's talk, go on and drop that like for me right on below. And thank you very much for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel.